23rd, 2024. Can I get a roll call, please?
Commissioner Braun?
Here.
Commissioner Kleiner?
Here.
Commissioner Pearson?
Here.
Commissioner Warnick?
Here.
Let the record show you do have a quorum.
Thank you. Commissioner Kleiner, will you just lead us in the pledge, please?
Yes. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you. As many of you know, we had a terrible fire that consumed the life of one of our town residents. In Jeff Jackson's honor, I'd like to hold a moment of silence. Thank you. First on the agenda is the consent agenda. Town Administrator, do you have that?
Yes, I do. First of all, to go over it, there is a revision to the agenda that was posted the other day, and that is just simply to change the name of the presenter from the Small Business Administrator. It was another individual, and I wanted to update the agenda for that. The second item you have is the approval of the March 26, 24 town meeting video summary. The other thing I wanted you to consider is that we have a scheduled town meeting on June 25th, which is also the time of the MML conference. So traditionally what we've done is just voted to cancel that meeting, and then you have the list of upcoming town meetings, which takes into account the assumption that you're going to cancel the June 25th meeting. So the meetings coming up next would be May 14th, May 28th, June 11th, and then July 9th. So that's the consent agenda.
I move to approve.
To accept the consent agenda.
I make a motion to accept the consent agenda.
Second.
It's been moved and seconded. Is there any further discussion?
No.
Hearing none, all in favor?
Aye.
Could I get the board's, what they would like to do in regards to the June meeting? A cancellation, I would think, due to the MML.
We just voted to approve that.
Now, when you approve
Travis,
that, in the consent agenda, you approve those action items listed.
Perfect. Thank you for clarifying that, Town Administrator. Do you have public presentations tonight?
Yes, we have a representative, Miss Chanette. I apologize if I don't get the first name correct. Liliana Chanette from the Small Business Administration, and she's here to do a presentation. We've all seen the tragic events of the Keys Bridge collapse, and along with the federal government and the state, there's been an effort to make sure that that collapse doesn't have too much of a negative impact on the business and the economy. So she's here to go over some details of some opportunities for some of our local businesses that may be impacted by the bridge collapse to be able to receive some benefits. So Ms. Chanette, thank you.
Good evening, honorable commissioners and everybody present. Thank you so much for giving me this opportunity this evening to address you into the tragic event, as you said, of the collapse of the bridge and the impact that's going to have, tremendous impact on the economy of the region. As a result of assessing the situation, the governor requested for SBA, Disaster Assistance Office of Resilience and Assistance, to come and open business recovery centers in Baltimore and in Anne Arundel. We have 3 centers that open to serve the business community. However, a lot of businesses, in the area, especially in Cecil County, in counties that are not so close to the bridge, they might think that they're not impacted. In the next couple of months, it's going to be a tremendous impact that's going to be seen in the area. For that reason, we thought it's prudent to have a lot of public affairs specialists such as myself to be in the areas, go to commissioners' meeting, talk to stakeholders, go to Chamber of Commerce's, offer webinars, offer presentations, leave enough information behind us so once the deadline comes on December 30th, you know to give to your constituency and to the people impacted, to the business owners, this information. What is it actually that we offer? We don't offer grants. We don't offer free money. We offer disaster assistance loans. Just like in any declaration, these loans need to be repaid, and they work with a fixed rate. This money is directly from the Treasury, so it doesn't go through a bank. It's a fixed interest rate of 4% for businesses, 2.35% for nonprofit organization. How does it work? It's a very simple process. You go to sba.gov. You've got a slide that's posted on your monitors of how to contact us and how to apply for a loan. However, if businesses that are in the area or, business owners that they feel that they need a little bit more attention and, assistance with applying for the loans, they have the business recovery centers that are open. And that information is going to be available also on your websites, on the material that I've sent on, the fact sheets that you're going to receive. And if it wasn't distributed to you by now, it will be. All the emergency management offices in each county, it's going to have this information. Every congressional office is going to have this information. So I think what it's my mission here is to let you know that the Economic Injury Disaster Assistance Loans, the EIDLs, are available. They're available till December 30th. It's a fixed rate. It's a very good opportunity to keep as an option for businesses to keep the doors open. How do they work? 12 months, no interest, no payment for the first 12 months, so it helps people to recuperate. And it's a very good opportunity to pay the fixed debts, to pay, it's kind of like a cash flow for the businesses to keep in business. How do they get approved? How do they get qualified? A business needed to prove that they have been in business at least a year prior to the incident. They need to show impact that is due to this incident and not to other reasons. And if they need additional assistance for their businesses, they could always apply with a local SBA office. But for this particular incident, they could apply for this EIDL loan up to $2 million. What I like to say when I'm in an area is that please proliferate this information to all your networks. It's going to help a lot of people in the long run. A lot of people think that I don't need a loan, but then when it comes in staying in business or being out of business, they might, think that this is a good opportunity. So this is all what I have to say in a nutshell for tonight of how this works, but I'm open to your questions. I'm pretty sure that, you might have some questions regarding this.
Is there a local SBA office up in Cecil County?
There is no local SBA in Cecil County. This particular disaster loan, it's always through the SBA Disaster Assistance Program. So we are within the SBA, but the local SBA office does not attend to these loans. That's why we have the business recovery loans, available and the business centers open. If you feel that your county has enough, traffic for a business and that they need an additional, business center, something that's mobile that we could open for one day, let us know. We'll make that happen.
Thank you very much. Anyone else have any questions? Hearing none, thank you. Thanks for coming tonight.
Thanks for your time.
Thank you.
Thank you.
All right, moving into a new resolution for Resolution 2024-06. Town Administrator, do you have that?
Yes, I do. I'll bring it up on the screen. Essentially, this is a resolution that we do from time to time regarding surplus property. And in essence, what this means is when you use taxpayers' money to purchase equipment or property, you can't just dispose of it any way that you want. You have to declare it surplus property, which is done through an advertisement with at least a 20-day notice. And then you can either do a sale through private transaction or through public auction or public bid. So the resolution you have before you tonight is in regards to additional police vehicles that we have replaced over the years, and they're just surplus. So we can get a little bit of a return on the investment of the taxpayers' dollars by putting those out to bid or public auction. So if you're good with that, I'll read the resolution into the minutes.
Please.
Okay. So whereas the town located in Cecil County, Maryland is a municipality organized under the provisions of the Maryland Constitution and governed under the provisions of the local government article of the annotated code of Maryland. And whereas the town is proclaimed as a perpetual entity with the right to pass laws, and whereas Section 5-204 of the local government article of the annotated code of Maryland titled Legislative Authority, General Powers of Municipalities, subnote C3, permits a municipality to sell at public or private sale after 20 days public notice and to convey to the purchaser any real or leasehold property belonging to the municipality if the legislative body of the municipality determines that the property is no longer needed for public use. And whereas the town instituted a vehicle replacement program 15 years ago and has maintained that program over the years in an effort to promote greater fuel efficiency and reduce energy consumption, ensure the safety and reliability of municipal vehicles through the use of modern vehicle technologies and safety features, minimize maintenance and operational costs associated with aging vehicle fleet, encourage the adoption of cleaner and more sustainable transportation options within the community, and to realize a return on resale of the vehicles while they still retain value. And whereas the town has recently replaced several vehicles and now has a surplus of vehicles in storage, and the Mayor and Board of Commissioners have determined that the below listed vehicles are no longer needed by the town and are hereby declared surplus property. I'm just going to read out the year and the make. I'm not going to, the VIN numbers are long, but you would be declaring a 2010 Dodge Charger, a 2011 Dodge Charger, a 2011 Ford Expedition, a 2016 Ford Interceptor, a 2016 Ford Interceptor, a 2017 Ford Explorer, and a 2019 Ford Interceptor as surplus property. Therefore, be it enacted and resolved that the town is hereby providing the required public notice of its intent to sell these vehicles through public bid or auction after the conclusion of the required 20-day public notice. Now, therefore, be it further resolved that the Mayor and Commissioners of the Town of Rising Sun Pass approved and adopted this resolution on the 23rd day of April, 2024.
Isn't one of those interceptors totaled?
Could I get a motion to approve this resolution?
I make a motion to approve. I have a
Second.
question though.
Sure, go ahead, Augie.
The 19 Interceptor, Ford Interceptor, is that the one that's wrecked?
No, that is correct me if I'm wrong, that's a 2016 Chief.
Yeah,
It was
2016 is
totaled.
totaled, yeah.
Okay.
4720. The 2019 is one that's just been in service for a long time.
Got it.
It has high mileage and
Okay.
Okay. That was my only question.
Any other questions?
No.
Hearing none, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Passes. Thank you, Town Administrator.
It was 5 years ago. Actually, it could be 6 years ago.
Excuse me, let me get back to the agenda, guys. Moving forward into citizens input, would anyone like to speak this evening? Hearing no
Yeah,
one?
I'm
Whoa,
sorry,
whoa, 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 whoa,
we do,
whoa.
Matt.
Do you want me to give my name?
sorry, I didn't see you.
Do I
Yes,
give my
please.
name? Do you want my
Yes.
name? Kathy Hurd Jaggers, 407 Pearl Street in Rising Sun. On Monday nights, the last 3 Monday nights, I've been listening to a program by the Sovereignty Coalition with experts that they have each week and a long list on their website of organizations that have joined them. They point out that the administration is working to give the World Health Organization and its Director General unilateral authority over naming any future pandemic and directing how nations must respond. This would nullify our Constitution, which protects the rights of American citizens. Doctors will be forced to comply with WHO directives or lose licensure. I've contacted my federal congressmen and senators, although the Senate has already said it will not debate the WHO directives. I've contacted my state rep and senator, knowing that Louisiana is protecting its citizens with legislation opposing this. I wrote our county executive about Tom DeWeese, who was instrumental in exempting Carroll County from onerous legislation years back, and she has contacted the county lawyer. I hope my fellow Rising Sun residents will be vigilant and wise as the May 27th date for this WHO takeover approaches.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Jagger. Sorry for not being able to see you on my camera. Sorry about that. Would anyone else like to speak this evening?
Yes, we have
One
one more
more.
gentleman.
Okay.
Hi, my name's Steve Miller. I'm a resident of Rising Sun, former resident of Rising Sun, will be sooner than later. Just interested in the Rails to Trails project for the Octorara
I have your
Trail.
message. I haven't had a chance to get back to you yet.
Okay, well, there we go. Well, I'm a
But if you wanna
retiree
stick
with a long
around-
time on my hands.
Yeah, if you want to stick around to the end, we can talk about it. All right.
Would anyone else like to speak this evening? Hearing none, moving forward into staff reports. Town Administrator.
Yeah, I just had one quick item. The town attorney will get into more about the recent PUD hearing that we had. But I wanted to clear the air on a couple of things because we've had some people call upset. Under state requirements, a municipality handling any kind of variance, special exception, or land development is only required to do an advertisement in a newspaper. Many, many years ago, the town took a further step and said that they would notify everyone within 500 lineal feet of a subject property set to appear for planning and zoning, and then they would also post the property of the subject hearing. We've sort of gotten it from both sides, from people upset that we posted the property and didn't like the fact that we posted the property. We had others that said we didn't post the property soon enough, which we did do it 10 days upon receiving notice from the applicant that they had all their plans complete. And what I'm getting at is, although some of these projects can sit in cycle for a long period of time, we don't allow them to get on any kind of agenda until they check off a long laundry list of things that need to be completed. And once they have met that, then we go through a 2-week process where we do two advertisements, with the first one appearing, in this case, 15 days before the hearing, and then we post the property 10 days before the hearing, and then we notify everyone within 500 lineal feet, and then we put it on social media. So the point is, sometimes we get people who complain that we post the property and others who complain that we didn't post the property. We are trying to be as transparent as possible. We do put these hearings up on the website also, and we will put them on our social media platforms. These particular land development projects, I think it's also important to note, they do not happen overnight. Land development processes typically go through a concept plan review, a preliminary plan review, and a final plan review. That in itself can take anywhere from 7 to 12 months, depending upon how efficient the developer and the engineer are at getting the stuff done, getting us complete plans. We also, as you recall, you passed an ordinance about a year ago that gave developers the opportunity to have 2 additional voluntary steps, one being an administrative review and one being a sketch plan. And the idea behind that was, number one, to get it on the radar of the public sooner, but also get it in the queue of the review board before the engineers spend, or before the developer spend a lot of money doing something that, let's say, it doesn't have a prayer of getting approved because it's out of whack. They can come in and float the idea and get guidance on what they need to do. And now, I want to clarify when I say this. This is not designed to pave the road for the developer to be able to do what they want to do. The simple fact is, we talked about this before, there's landowners' rights, and landowners have the right to develop their land within the context of what's permitted in the zoning code. What we try to do is to, if we did it the traditional way, you could have a developer come in and spend a lot of money up front doing things of what they think the town may or may not want. And land development can be a lot of negotiating, because remember, under the umbrella of land developers' rights, they can do something. It is my opinion that you're better off getting the developer in here early before they've spent thousands of dollars on something that's going to end up, portions of it might end up not working out, and then it's much harder to negotiate a good outcome for the town and to protect the interests of the town. So getting them to come in under sketch plan and administrative review gets them to hear up front what the Planning Commission or Board of Appeals, even the public, because we advertise those meetings as public meetings. So even the public gets to come out. So I'll leave you with this. We had a PUD hearing, but this is a long way from being finished. There will be at least 3 more public hearings on this matter over the next couple of months, all depending upon how quickly the developer complies. Let me also leave you with one thing, because this community's been burned by bad development in the past. Let me just be real blunt when I say this. In some of these developments that we've gotten, they are up to 7 or 8 revisions of the plans, because we are telling them from an administrative standpoint, this is not going to float. You need to do better. So the town is treating these developments a lot different than it used to in the past. We're not just saying it's on a piece of paper, it's good to go. Again, the developers already spent a lot of money just redoing the plans over and over. And at the sketch plan review, Commissioner Pearson, you remember when we were with them in July, that's where it was determined that there needed to be another entrance out on 274. Having that come up in that sketch plan review made it a lot easier to get the developer to think about doing that, because they didn't spend thousands of dollars in stormwater plan reviews and all the other stuff they have to do. So there is a rhyme and reason to what we're trying to do, and we do try to get the notices out to everybody as required. So that's all I have.
And Town Administrator, this board is well aware, and you are also well aware that we're doing everything we can to control traffic issues, parking, street width. We've done all that we can do to make sure that we hold the developers accountable. So I thank you for your work on it, and thank the Planning and Zoning as well as the Appeals Board for all their work on it.
If I can just, okay, sorry.
Go ahead, Augie.
I'd like to really try to alleviate a lot of the fears that the public has. The process that you're going through now was not the process years ago. Developers came in years ago and said to the town, this is what we're going to do, whether it was beneficial for the town, beneficial for the development residents, or whatever. The town just laid back and let the developers do what they wanted. Thanks to Pauline and her crew, at the planning and zoning level for realizing that that could not happen now. And spending the hours of time that they did in revising a lot of the planning and zoning so that this process that you're currently going through is appropriate for this time. And it also let the developer know that you don't control the situation. We have more say and we will work with you. But you're not going to tell us what you're going to do, as was past policy. Thank you.
Thank you, Augie. Thanks for giving a more in-depth response. It's something that our community is really sensitive to, and all of us are very sensitive to. Moving forward into Chief, do you have a report this evening?
I have a couple things. The officers are undergoing their annual trainings, and if you don't know, we have continuing ed type courses that officers have to go through, annual firearms. It's up to about 20 hours a year that they have to cover topics that are extremely important to what we do. This year, during my in-service training, we had a presentation from B.J. Surhoff, a former Oreo, on Pathfinders for Autism. He provided us a lot of information, a lot of contacts that will help when we respond to a situation that may have someone that is on the spectrum. Again, the officers are out doing those trainings. You'll see them take a different approach sometimes when they're in a situation than what they would have a week ago. Also, this past week we had the tragic incident here in town where we lost a long-standing member of our community. As a result, the police department, along with the fire department and public works, we've agreed to pair up, and we're going to be out tomorrow night going through neighborhoods, offering to install and assist with the installation of smoke detectors. So you'll see us out and about walking around, trying to help the community be a little more safe. If you're in need of a smoke detector, you can always reach out to the police department, the fire department, and we'll see what we can do to try to help you out with getting them. And that's my report, unless there's any questions.
Thank you, Chief. Town Attorney.
Good evening, everybody. I wanted to follow up where the town administrator left off with the Board of Zoning Appeals case that we had on the planned unit development. I want to give you a different perspective on it. Having been with you all since 2010 or 11, when we were facing a lot of issues and trying to think about development in the town as something you wanted to happen, and you borrowed money to solve your problems and looked at the idea of new growth being good financially and for the community and everything along with it, then I would say that this hearing that we had the other day was like turning a corner or turning a page into a new chapter. I thought the hearing itself was run very professionally. The board did a great job. We had a great system, a great presentation. The results are immaterial to me. I mean, it was passed at that time, but it was really showing how far the town has come with their processes, something that we were just talking about, and we look like a professional town in dealing with this. The other side of the coin is this is something that the town, for better or for worse, has always wanted. You have advanced the money for many, many years for the water and the sewer, and you always thought that as people would basically come into the town, that it would be able to lower your costs. And so this is the first step in realizing that, and realizing a new set of development for the town. These houses are a lot different than the other houses. The open space is a lot different. The roads are going to be a lot different. You're just a more mature and more sophisticated town, and I think that's what we were just trying to talk about. So I was real pleased with how everything worked out. Calvin is working on the actual opinion that the BZA has to sign, and once that is signed, then there's a 30-day wait period, and then they can move forward from there. So very pleased with that. We realize that there is still some issues with other developments in town, dealing with Stevens Preserve and things like that. And one of the good things or bad things, depending on how you look at it, is same engineers are involved. So we've now developed a rapport with them They know what we expect, and we know how they operate, so we can help work out future issues. What people don't realize is that as far as I've been here, you've never had any new development. You might have had a house here and there, but you've had no new development. So can you imagine, like if you compare it to a football team or a sports team, you've really had no training to get into this. A lot of prep work, but no big games. And so, I'm thinking we're ready to go. And I think the town should be happy and supportive that you look so professional. That's what I have, Mayor.
Thank you, Jay. Assistant Town Administrator.
Yes, each of you have a financial packet and also a list of checks that have been written for the last 60 days showing the status of those checks. After you review, if you have any questions, just give me a call. Public Works, we do have a number of things that they're working on. You may notice some activity over at the Cultural Center. We have started painting the windows there. At this time, I'm not sure when they're going to bring in the lift. There will be some traffic being routed for Walnut Street. They're anticipating about 2 weeks to get that project finished, so they will be there for a while. We are going to start flushing hydrants on May 13th. We'll flush 13th, 14th, and 15th, starting at 9 o'clock in the evening. So just be sure to be aware and to run your water to make sure you don't have anything happening that might spoil your clothes. Fishing rodeo on Saturday, May 1st, down at the community pond. Young fishermen down there from 8 to noon. It's going to be a fun day for everybody. We are working diligently on the budget. We have about 75% of the data that we need to do a draft, and we still have some folks we're getting pricing from. Going to be looking at staffing too for Public Works. Going to put an advertisement in the paper and start looking at getting another full-time person for that group. Other than that, that's it for me.
Mayor, Judy, you and I didn't get a chance to talk about this, but there's an opportunity with this being live streamed. Can you just quickly say what's going to happen at the church when we talk about them setting up in 2 weeks so people know what to expect?
Okay, well, we have there's about 70 windows over there, plus all the woodwork and the doors and the exterior metal. So what they're doing right now is prepping the area and getting it ready to have, there'll be a coat of primer and then 2 coats of paint that'll be put on. On the outside, all the doors and all the windows, and they will be replacing any damaged wood while they're doing that. And you'll see them. They put their plastic out. They clean up every day. They're doing that because it's part of the requirements that they have to keep us safe with the EPA.
More specifically, any potential lead.
Yes, any potential lead.
Potential lead in the paint. So.
Thank you, Judy.
Are our employees doing it, or do we have a contractor?
We have a contractor doing it. Colossal Contracting is doing it. They were the low bid. I don't know if you remember when we awarded the contract, but they were the low bidder.
Well, I just wanted everybody to know that it wasn't our folks doing it.
Right.
That we have a contractor who's professionally does it.
Lead abatement. Yeah.
He does, and he actually provided us with the certification of all of his crew that they are all certified to be able to do the abatement that's needed there. So they're very solid.
Thank you. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Moving forward into the mayor's report, my report is pretty brief. Just coming off of what Judy said, our plan right now with the Community Culture Center is to make sure that we get the outside looking really bright and shiny and have everything fixed up, and then we'll start working on the inside. We have lots of plans coming up for that building and are excited for the future of it. Myself and the town elected body attended the Little League opening day parade and ceremonies. It was a wonderful event. So many Little Leaguers came out and our town was packed full. We just all had a wonderful time, and we consider our partnership with Little League to be very strong, and we're excited for this year's season. Myself and Commissioner Pearson also attended the Community Fire Company banquet, where we presented a check on behalf of the town of Rising Sun for $15,000 to the Community Fire Company. On behalf of our elected body, we sincerely thank all of their first responders for all they do for our community. And I also wanted to add We haven't met since the passing of Paul Samuels, who was a fire police officer. Our thoughts are certainly with Paul's family. He was awarded a few awards at the community fire banquet, and we thank him and his family for his service to our community. Moving forward into commissioner comments, Commissioner Braun,
I have no comments.
Commissioner Kleiner, excuse me.
Hi, good evening. Just one update on my end. Since we didn't meet in the earlier part of the month, I attended my first planning commission meeting on the 1st of April, and I'm now the ex officio member from the Board of Commissioners, and I just thank everyone for the opportunity to be a part of it and to learn and grow, and I look forward to future meetings, so thank you. That's it for me.
Thank you for your service, Commissioner Kleiner. We really appreciate it. And we thank you, Commissioner Braun, for your many years of service to the Planning and Zoning Commission. Commissioner Pearson.
Okay, first of all, I want to remind everybody that we have the Officer Dan Stickney Memorial Golf Tournament on May the 6th. If you are a golfer and would like to participate, contact Chief Peterson. Second of all, I'd like to congratulate Ray Blakely Sr. posthumously and Belinda Blakely for being awarded the Hall of Fame status for the Hartford Cecil County Firemen's Association. It's a very high honor in the fire service in this area, so congratulations. That's my report.
Commissioner Warning.
I have no report.
All right. Town Administrator.
Yeah, that's being done right now.
Okay. Give me 1 second.
We're talking code. We're talking in code because we have a surprise.
All right. Tonight we expected to have Jane Bellmeyer from the Cecil Wig to join us. Jane has been battling an illness for the past few months, and Jane, we know that you're watching right now. We got you these beautiful flowers on behalf of myself and the Board of Commissioners. I don't know if you guys would like to make comments as well, but we sincerely miss you, and we can't wait for you to come back.
These are gorgeous.
All right, moving forward into Board of Zoning Appeals and Commission schedule, which you'll see there on our agenda, as well as any upcoming town events, holidays, and the trash recycling and yard waste. Do we have anything else to come before the board this evening? Hearing nothing, could I get a motion to adjourn?
Make a motion to adjourn?
Second.
It's been moved and seconded. All in favor?
Aye.
Meeting adjourned.